Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for fighting the good fight. Well, I did want to read on a few things, but I did want to start by talking a little bit more about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You know, I was saying to a patron today that what surprised me is when I read her energy after she passed was this love, tremendous love. It's not what I expected. You know, that I know she's a loving person, but that was the main energy. However, I do have to say, I did see an image of her looking quietly and saying, fight. Because she is a fighter. She is a fighter. She has no interest in telling us about her death. She told her family what she wanted them to know. She said everything she wanted to say. She has no interest in talking about that. But I think she's on our side. I know she's on our side. She's on everybody's side. She's on the side of truth. So anyway, maybe I'll pull a few more cards and ask Justice Bader Ginsburg what she thinks. There's the government. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes, she says it's part of what we've been in, this learning all these new and unpleasant things, but hopefully it takes us on to a more hospitable shore. It helps us build a better life. It's a maturing process with our government. We've got the Hierophant. We have the Judgment Angel. She's telling us about the angels who are on our side. She's telling us about the angels who are on the side of truth, on the side of mercy, on the side of fairness, justice, good judgment. She's saying we can ask for that kind of help. Wow. She is with the angels. She's saying she's with the angels. I think about that card in the Rider-Waite, and that's the Judgment Day one, right? Where the people are rising up out of their graves and they're deemed worthy. So that's lovely. That's lovely too. All right, so thank you. I'm so filled with gratitude for what she did. I hadn't known that she had not decided to retire. She wanted to retire if Hillary was in. She would have retired then. But since it was Trump, she was going to try to hang in there as long as she could. I remember doing a reading on how long can she hang in there, you know, after the last bad diagnosis she got with a pancreatic cancer several months ago, that it had returned and it was bad. And I remember not feeling like we were given an assurance that she would be able to make it, but I remember saying, she certainly is going to do everything she can to try to make it. So, all right, well, and that she did. And so we can never thank her enough for that. All right, Spirit. So, what else should we know about the situation with the Supreme Court? It feels like Brett Kavanaugh 2.0, doesn't it? With Murkowski saying, I can't vote for that, not an election year, da-da-da. Susan Collins saying that. Both of them perhaps trying to appease their sort of moderate base, their moderate or even Democratic voters who have voted for them, or independents who voted for them. And we have, of course, Lindsey Graham saying, oh, it doesn't matter what I said. I would certainly feel that. Well, Spirit, what else should we know about this? And we kind of want to know, will the Democrats really fight? Will the Democratic lawmakers really fight against this? It is unjust. We have the Queen of Wands, female lawmakers. That's got to be Pelosi. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Strength card. Okay. So she is, well, truth is on her side, right? The Ace of Swords, truth is given. Truth is on her side. The truth is, this is incredibly hypocritical and it's not fair, because they wouldn't vote for Merrick Garland even though Obama wanted to appoint him in February of an election year. So there we go. It's on her side. That makes her strong. Okay, anything else we should know about that? Let's see, just wait. There's a victory. There's a Page of Wands. I just feel like this is a mixed bag, you guys. I think that, look at all these wands, though. Look at all these wands. Look at all these wands. You know what I think I'm hearing? And right, Pelosi was the Queen of Wands in that last reading, and very frequently she is. You know what I think I'm hearing is, this is yet another thing that will damage Republicans in the election. This kind of hypocrisy and, corrupt, saying whatever you want to say, this kind of thing that just completely invalidates any of their campaign promises. This will lead to some victories for the Democrats. That's what I'm seeing. It may be, some of them may be in the long run. We have the Three of Wands. I don't feel like, even if Trump does get to appoint somebody, and I feel like he probably will, probably after the election, I just don't think it's an all-out victory. I don't. And I do think there are some measures that the Dems will try to take. I think it outrages the Democrats and voters as well. They've already donated a whole bunch to Vote Blue and other causes. And I'm actually going to donate to Vote Blue today as well. Recommended by one of my patrons. So that's a good place. And there's a lot of outrage caused by this. It really kind of leaves the Republicans unmasked. Yeah, there's a problem. Interesting that he said it would be a woman that would replace her, because that's kind of what I was seeing. Hierophant. See, there's a lot of things that are going to happen between now and then that are just kind of, that'll make the Republicans have to retreat a bit. There will be some wrangling. Interesting. But I don't know that it will ultimately be successful in keeping that nominee from landing in the Supreme Court. But there will be a lot of judgment on him for it. It won't be worth it. That's what I'm hearing. It won't be worth it to him. In the long run, it won't be worth it. Let's ask about, everybody is concerned then, future of Roe v. Wade. And now the Supreme Court, as it was before Justice Bader Ginsburg passed away, did strike down a challenge to Roe v. Wade, I believe. And I may be saying that wrong, but I remember feeling a little bit of comfort in even Kavanaugh. And I think he even wrote the dissenting opinion. So will Roe v. Wade survive? People do get concerned about back alley abortions again, right? We have the King of Swords, we have the Page of Cups, we have the Two of Coins balance. The facts with the King of Swords. Let me get a clarifier for that one. Success. Yeah, but it's bedeviled. Okay, it will continue the way it has been. In other words, eroded. The Republican lawmakers in many states have managed to shut down many clinics or make it very difficult for people to provide that service. So it's made things more difficult. So that will continue for a while, I see. But science, technology is helping here, because there has been greater use of the so-called day after pill, and there have been new developments in it where this is given not just the day after, but for some time after, I think. So yeah, Already the process is bedeviled for women in many states, and that will continue, but I do not see them striking it down anytime soon, if ever, if ever. Three of Wands, that's because the Dems do come in. And, oh, they also have to worry. I'd like to pretend that the Supreme Court is completely apolitical. I don't believe that's true, though. I mean, I think many times they are reading the rule of law, and it's so obvious that they go with the rule of law. But I think there have been decisions that, frankly, yes, are political, and when things are a little more murky and can be argued either way technically. So that's my impression, that's my gut feeling, that's all that is. But, you know, I'm just kind of going by what I've been observing and what my intuition says. So the fact that I do believe Democrats are rising, I do believe the Democrats will gain at least a couple of Senate seats. I do believe there will be a sense of gains in the midterms after 2020 and the midterms in 2022. And they will have to be concerned about that. You know, Democratic voters really going to get fired up if Roe V. Wade is struck down, right? So I do think it's probably going to stay for a while, at least, and until it's maybe, you know, not such a huge issue for a lot of people. The Five of Wands, a lot of political debate over it. Ace of Coins, right? Yeah, they get concerned about the safety, the health needs of women. Okay. All right, let's ask about what kind of mischief, and that's just too nice a word. What kind of dastardly schemes may come to fruition if we have a 6-3 Supreme Court? Oh boy, that's a big one. Big question. Well, we have the Temperance Angel, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Hope card. Look at this. 3 ladies, 3 major arcana. Wow. In other words, even if scary things happen, gradually things can become much more evened out. The High Priestess is the oracle of this time. So we are passing out of a time, notice we don't get the Hierophant to represent the spirituality of the nation. We are passing out of a time of great religiosity, not to say that people aren't out there using religions, taking part in religions as a means to worship and feel that oneness. They are, but overall, I think we're moving away from religiosity. Even the religions are moving away from some of the religiosity, the really strict. We should be hopeful. Okay, good. That's nice. We should be hopeful. Okay, so good. If dastardly schemes look like they're coming to fruition, that gradually just hang in there and that will change. All right. Let's see about, yeah, and I do keep hearing Justice Roberts. Remember, Justice Roberts is there, remember, and he does have some problems with doing terribly extreme, he does not want to appear like there's anything political happening there. He does, you know, want to try to stick close to the rule of law, for the most part. Qualify everything. Okay, well, that's because nothing is black and white, right? Everything's shades of gray. All right. Well, Spirit, what do you have? Do you have advice for us regarding, I don't know, anything. Also, guys, I have to tell you, I kept having the tower popping out again and again and again. This morning, as I was shuffling cards, just shuffling, absent-mindedly shuffling, tower kept coming out. And I got the feeling that that was regarding politics, something political. So maybe first we'll ask about that. What was that, Spirit? And then I sometimes got it coming out with the Emperor, sometimes with the Justice card. So it was really interesting. We have the Chariot, we have the 5 of Wands, we have the 10 of Coins. Okay. Well, now the 10 of Coins is stability. So in other words, I feel like Spirit is saying, oh, don't worry. It's not like whatever it is that's happening here is not something that is going to threaten the stability of your nation. So that's good to know. And yes, again, of course, we have some very wealthy generational money that kind of keeps things moving at least somewhat smoothly because it's in their best interest to do so. They want customers. They want hard workers. Then we have the 2 horses with the Chariot. It's like something is pulled forward and both parties are dragged with it. It's like there is a heavenly pull. Wow, okay. And then we have the 5 of Wands. This changes the debate. I think, okay, so that's not so bad. Good. You know, I start to, you know, when you see something like that, the tower pop out again and again and again, you kind of wonder what in the world is going to be. But in other words, there is really active debate. And Spirit is giving the words to some of the politicians, the pundits, everybody, the press. This is a fireworks kind of time. This changed things. The Supreme Court, you know, nominee, the Supreme Court seat open. This changed things. So expect some real kind of fireworks in the debates. And that's okay, because it's pulling everything forward with the Chariot in the right direction, even though the 2 Sphinxes with that Chariot, they face out a little bit. So it's going to rock back and forth. They're not going exactly ahead, but essentially they're going ahead. They're pulling it ahead. They're pulling the debate, the conversation ahead. All right. So this changed things. That must have been what we heard about from the beginning of the reading. That, you know, the Republicans think, oh boy, what a win. But really, I think they're going to pay dearly for this hypocrisy and this injustice because it's so blatant. All right. Okay. Well, okay, we'll end on some advice for us all, Spirit. Okay, what do we have? We have the Death card. We have the 7 of Swords. We have, there we go, we have rising political energy, democratic energy. There's some kind of scheme. Oh, I forgot about that. That's why Spirit's bringing this to me. I forgot to mention this. Remember when, I think it was during Trump's September, I said that he's really getting nervous and his campaign is not doing well. And they're going to now pull out a cannon. A cannon they had hoped to save for closer to the election. They're going to say, nope, I heard the, you know, it's like I saw the meeting behind the scenes. No, we got to do it now. And apparently this report that even some Republicans have said, like Mitt Romney, said that this is a political exercise, this investigation into Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and Burisma. The report's apparently going to come out this week. So that's right, Spirit's reminding me about this. Okay, and there is something underhanded in it. It's a scheme, but look there's 2 meanings to this Death card. So, I mean, that could be a blow to Joe Biden's run, but it could also be the end of that particular scheme. You know, I just get the feeling like it's going to land like a lead balloon. Just, okay. There, we shot the cannon and there it rolled. There it's rolling. You know, people who already are talking like Biden is horrible and part of a cabal. Right. Child pedophile, satanic cabal. That Joe Biden's part of that, and all Democrats, in fact. What more could you say? If that's what Trump's base is believing, what more negative could you say about the man that would do anything for him? Just give him something extra to argue with, some more ammunition on social media to argue with. That's about it. Yeah, it may be some, I just don't think it is. Spirit, please clarify that death card. Ace of Swords. Well, it could do a little damage, not much. Like I said, I just don't think it does. I don't think it does. They're just harassing him. See, we have the truth. Any hidden truth, though, can, you know, if there's anything that looks like, okay, well, we've exposed this and Joe Biden didn't want you all to know, that can maybe sway some voters who are on the fence and really truly wanted to vote for Trump but just need enough of an excuse to vote for him. Right. And they haven't found one in their mind yet, but this could be it. Okay, gotcha. But there is something about the death to these schemes. There is something about that. Yeah. All right. It's a Tower kind of a week, isn't it? That's a Tower time in politics. That's for sure. All right, Spirit. So, given that, you keep showing me things that I forgot to ask you. Anything to end with. All right. There's the Chariot again. This time with the Knight of Cups. Much of this forward stuff and this debate and the Tower events is manipulation. And we have the Two of Cups, right? The Republican senators will back the Republican president. Absolutely, they will. Don't think they won't. So in other words, all that news coverage that, you know, oh, maybe they just need 4 senators, you know, to not back the motion for the nomination. Yeah, don't put your hope in that. But nevertheless, we got the hope card that we should be hopeful about the future. Okay. And the High Priestess. There are mysteries, and there are mysteries afoot. There's more that's going to come out that will help Joe Biden too. Okay. All right. Well, I thank you all so much. You have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.